In Part 6, we explored the life review, that moment after death when you see everything clearly, feel the impact of your choices, and judge yourself with compassion. Now we ask, what comes next? How do souls choose their next life? Do they pick their parents, their lessons, their challenges, and why do we forget? Let's explore. After the life review, after the resting place or the school comes a choice: return to Earth or continue learning elsewhere. Most souls choose to return, not because Earth is pleasant, but because Earth is where the lessons are most intense, most lasting. One subject explained, "It is a hard way to learn lessons, but they are more lasting. If you can learn a lesson through all the struggles that you go through, it will remain with you." The choice is not forced. You can stay in the spirit world, you can rest, you can learn on other planes. But for most souls, Earth offers the most concentrated education. You cannot change yourself without experiencing a reason to change. It is stronger, more personal if you are experiencing or living the problems. It is not felt this greatly when you have just read about something. Book knowledge isn't enough. Hands-on experience is required, and Earth provides that experience in abundance. When souls decide to incarnate, they don't choose randomly. They choose parents, or more precisely, they choose the circumstances that will provide the lessons they need. One subject explained, "You have to handle your own mistakes. When you go through something on Earth, be it good, be it bad, the important thing is your attitude, the way you accept it. How do you handle the defeats? How do you handle your victories? How do you deal with situations and problems? How do you accept failures? Are you gracious, your life situations?" All these are the sum total of who and what you are. Before incarnation, souls meet with their guides and masters to plan. They look at what needs to be learned, they consider what karma needs to be balanced, they examine what lessons remain. One subject described it, "Sometimes I let other people here help me. There's a woman who's helped me a lot. She looks after me. Sometimes, even in a life, I seem to become more aware of her existence, for instance, when I'm growing out of being a child. Sometimes, when I'm very involved in everything, I'm not as aware of her presence here. She sometimes shows me how certain actions will affect me in a life. She'll flash them like on a movie screen on a wall." The guides don't dictate, they show consequences, they suggest. The soul makes the final choice. One of the most profound concepts in Dolores's work is the idea of soul contracts. Before birth, souls agree to meet each other in the next life. They agree to play certain roles for each other. To some extent, because you have some type of a previous bond with most of the people that you meet throughout your life. You will have things to work out between two or maybe more individuals. These contracts explain relationships that feel instantly familiar. They explain conflicts that seem inexplicable. They explain deep connections and deep animosities. Sometimes you're born among them, which makes it easier. This also explains why some parents and children cannot stand each other, because they hated each other previously. They decided they wanted to try to at least work something out, but they just aren't handling it very well. You chose your family, not always because you loved them, sometimes because you needed to work something out with them. But here's the key: the contract sets up the circumstances. It doesn't determine how you handle them. You have to handle your own mistakes. You have free will in the fact that we know how that person will decide in any given situation because they are that person. Based on what they have done in their other past lives, the personality is very predictable. They can prevent certain things from happening just by changing or going against the character, but it's unusual for a person to change that drastically. You chose the classroom. You still have to do the work. One of the most common questions people ask Dolores: why don't we remember our past lives? Wouldn't it help to know what lessons we're working on? The answer was consistent. It wouldn't. It would make things too complicated. Can you imagine how difficult it would be to function in the everyday world if you had the memories of countless past lives constantly bombarding you? You would never be able to concentrate on the lessons you have to work out during this lifetime. Memories of past lives are stored in the subconscious. You don't consciously remember, but your subconscious does. When you have a feeling you should do one thing instead of another, and you follow that feeling, it's generally because your subconscious is subtly reminding you of a certain aspect of karma. This is why intuition feels right. Your subconscious knows more than your conscious mind. Dolores's work showed that hypnosis can access these memories, but it's not always helpful. Some people can handle it a little better than others, but in most cases it doesn't work. If you're still angry because of the past feelings, all that it is bringing forward is the anger, with not very much logic with it, and so it doesn't always help. The forgetting is protective. It allows you to focus on this life, these lessons, without the baggage of countless previous existences. One of the more unusual concepts in Dolores's work is the computer room, a place where souls are processed for incarnation. John, during his regression, described it. This is like a huge computer processing center. I see what it looks like somewhat, but I can't go in it. There's a line of souls, all dog-eared, waiting to get in. The guide explained that souls are matched with appropriate bodies and circumstances. It's not random. The soul's history, karma, and learning needs all factor in. When a higher-level soul comes, it's like he's given priority service. They already know that he's going to be processed through quickly. Higher-level souls, those who have learned more, who are more evolved, don't need as much guidance. They know what they need. They're ready to go. The lower-level souls, those still entangled in desires and addictions, need more processing, more guidance sometimes, more lives to work things out. From the planning process, what do we learn? First, we choose our lives, not randomly, but with guidance to provide the lessons we need. Second, we choose our families. The people closest to us are often the ones we have karma with, positive or negative. Third, we have free will. The contract sets up circumstances. How we handle them is up to us. Fourth, forgetting is protective. We don't remember past lives because it would overwhelm us. But the subconscious remembers. Fifth, intuition is real. That gut feeling, it's your subconscious reminding you of lessons from before. Sixth, everyone is learning. No one is condemned to stay low. Everyone has the potential to evolve. The next life is not random. It's planned, not by some distant god, but by you in consultation with your guides and masters. You chose the circumstances that would challenge you. You chose the family that would teach you. You chose the lessons that remain unlearned. And then you forgot, so you could learn them fresh. In Part 8, we explore the unusual cases, walk-ins and possession. What happens when a soul takes over a body midlife? Thank you for joining me on this journey between worlds.